Sunday, and he's like, this is such a wonderful day, and then the stone is just like enormous.
And he says something like, oh hey, like blah blah. So I turn like this, and goes, whoa, he goes, what are those?
You just wanted to start going like. It looks like a good bit.
So then the best part is I walk into engine 2 one day to grab some shit, and I go upstairs, and like all the men are sitting around the kitchen table. Literally, I walk in unannounced, and they're talking about the ball back.
I was talking to my buddy yesterday that was coaching my brother grew up, and he was telling me some funny ass stories I didn't even know about. Here we go, Bob. Oh! My cardio though, I ain't gonna lie.
Sorry. Well, you guys.
All right.
So much extra.
I'll front kick you. I'll front kick you, huge.
Not gonna lie. Squeeze me a little bit.
See how nice and polite and gentleman-like I am with the dumbbells?
Tuggy.
Welcome to the first vlog of this bulking series. So I've done YouTube in the past or tried posting videos and obviously got demotivated many times because I didn't really know what area I wanted to go, in what direction. And to be honest, I still don't know, but we're going to figure it out. But this video is going to be the start of many as far as my next bulk is concerned. So last fall I said I would never bulk again, but here we are. And it's because I have different theories and how to not get as fat. And so we're going to see what I can do. So this will be a weekly thing at least. So at least I can get one video up a week. And then from there I can just play with other things such as possibly eating challenges or some educational things as far as training is concerned, diet is concerned, overall health and well-being, because I certainly prioritize health over bodybuilding. I have for a couple of years now, more so a year. And now I'm trying to incorporate bodybuilding into my healthy lifestyle. And so I'm going to see if I can do so. If not, then I will pull back and scrap all this. But I think I can do it. So a couple of things that I'm going to prioritize during this bulk is primarily a carnivore diet. And I've always loved the idea of red meat and how healthy it is and how we should always be eating meat. And if you don't believe so, that's okay. We all have different opinions and I'm not here to argue. It's just what I think is probably the best food for us. And on the opposite spectrum, that being processed foods, and in addition to that, plants and vegetables. Because if you really think about it, any processed food derives from a plant, if you really think about it. So my plan for this bulk is to I'm already eating pretty much as much meat as I want. That's the plus side of carnivore, is your appetite is just super in balance and you eat what you want when your body's asking for it, and it stops when it stops asking for it. It's actually pretty cool mechanism that we have. So my appetite is good right now, and I just know that once I start cranking in the gym a little bit more and giving my body a reason to grow and eat, my appetite's only going to go up, and I'm going to eat more meat. And in addition to that, eggs, whole eggs. So currently I eat about 2.5 pounds of red meat a day and give or take 6 whole eggs. And that's me at 215 pounds this morning, as you saw. And you saw a little physique check, so I am pretty lean at this point. And I'm happy to say that because starting a bulk in a lean state is kind of mandatory. So I'm excited for that. And, maybe work my way up to 3, 4, 5 pounds of meat per day with 12, 18, 24 eggs in a day. Who knows? I think that the sky's the limit here. And I've already seen tremendous benefits from carnivore. The past 3 months, I've been pretty strictly carnivore. And by that, I mean I've cycled coffee in and out because I do love my coffee. Currently, I'm 2 weeks sober, and I plan on being sober for a very long time. And if I do want to dabble in caffeine, it will be via caffeine pill. And the only time I will treat myself to a coffee is if I go out for coffee with somebody on a date, or it doesn't even have to be a date, just like a meetup with a buddy or whoever. And I'll use it as a treat. And that'll probably be once every 2 months, 3 months, who knows. I don't really go on coffee dates, so, but I would not be opposed if that's the case. So coffee is, again, a bean, which is a vegetable, and I do think there's a lot of anti-nutrients in it, and I do think it has hindered my life and progression to a small degree, maybe moderate degree. And I've always used it I've always used coffee in moderation, very low amounts, and I've always cycled it But up until recently, this past year, I've really been off of it more so than on it, and I've seen tremendous benefits. It does suck, obviously, at first, but that's just more reason for you to stay off of it, because clearly, if you are dependent on a drug or a substance, that's not, I don't think, my opinion, I don't think that's a good thing to have to rely on something else to function. I would rather be able to be placed in the middle of a desert and survive and not have to deal with any sort of withdrawal. So, the past year or two that I've been focusing on my health, and a lot of it's been mental health, of course, but physical health, it's really about what are we putting into our bodies that are bad versus versus what are we putting bad into our body, and what are we additionally putting into our body to compensate for that? And that's kind of the Western medicine philosophy. Why not try to eliminate the things that are causing the problem in the first place? And in my opinion, that is plants, vegetables, processed foods, and such. I think we're meant to eat a whole food diet, but to a further extent, red meat. And then, right below that would be whole eggs from an organic pasture-raised chicken. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect, and I do indulge in certain things. Like I said, the coffee would probably be a thing here and there. The types of meat I will eat, I will incorporate. I love country style ribs, pork. That's one of my favorite cuts, and I do enjoy that very much. Or chicken thighs or chicken drumsticks. So those will be incorporated here and there. It's not the end of the world. It's still protein, it's still quality, it's still unprocessed. But those animals have a little bit more linoleic acid, a little more omega-6s, and it's just not as ideal as grass-fed red meat. Even grain-fed red meat is right below grass-fed. It's really not that big of a deal. So, as you saw, I did blood work this morning. I like to get blood work probably 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year, depending, from the month of August of last year until now. I've gotten blood work 6 times, and that is me trying to bring in supplements when needed, and then getting blood work done, seeing if it helped. And that was in the beginning end, and then towards the latter, it's been me kind of just eliminating everything and then seeing where my blood work is, and then double checking that a few weeks later to see if everything's good. So everything has been good. I just want to do this before I start this bulk, and then I can compare my blood work now in a very healthy, what I think is a healthy state, very lean state, and then who knows, 20, 30, 40 pounds from now, with the same kind of principles of a carnivore diet and no processed or plant foods in my diet. We'll see where we lay. But I don't have a goal body weight at the end of this. It's just, I more so just want to make sure I'm keeping it lean, and if that scale is higher from the previous week, that's really all that matters. You can only grow tissue so fast, and anything more than a couple pounds is probably going to be fat anyway. But who knows? I mean, if things are looking good and my body's asking for more meat, maybe I can pack on weight a little bit quicker than I think. So moving forward, you can expect these videos on a weekly basis with updates, and then intermittently in between these videos, maybe a couple other videos, day of life, eating challenges, etc. Oh, I also wanted to mention, so again, I do believe in a carnivore diet and how great it is, and it is a tool, but I don't want to be lumped into different categories. I don't like being lumped into the bodybuilding category. I don't like being lumped into the carnivore diet. I don't like being, or carnivore community. I don't like being lumped into this and that. I'm just myself, and I have tools at my disposal, and I like to use them when necessary, but I also like to enjoy my life. And so that means I like having banana bread. That means I like having cereal. That means I like having raw milk. That means I like having a cup of coffee here and there. So that's my sort of moderation is be extremely strict and be conscious of what you're putting into your body. And then by here and there, I mean very rarely treat yourself to a couple of vices here and there to keep your body honest, I guess. And so with that being said, once a week, once every other week, it's not going to be planned. I'm going to have a cheat day where I'm going to have basically all carbohydrates and very, very, very low fat. This is just an idea I have in my mind where the carnivore diet is very high fat, high protein, and on these days that I have zero fat, high carbs, and some protein, I will fill out and then not really get into that Randall cycle where you're having carbs and fats and you're confusing your body at the same carbs and fats at the same time, and you're confusing your body, which can lead to excess fat gain. That's just my theory and just kind of rationalizing eating some garbage food here and there. But maybe it's actually going to be a benefit. Maybe it's good for my body to have a break from, well, not necessarily, I don't think it's good to have a break from these healthy foods such as red meat and eggs, but maybe it will be a good thing for me as my physique to fill out with glycogen with those extra carbohydrates.